Everyone, welcome to Del Duque down in Adecchi. We're just on the beachfront here having a little walk, and I'm going to bring you another travel update. How you can come to Tenerife, what are the rules, what do you need, what tests do you need. I'm going to go through that all in this video. It is the 23rd of November, so the new rules have come into effect today. So I'm going to go through all those rules, give you an update, and enjoy a bit of sunshine as well. Enjoy the views, let's stride on. So firstly, who can travel to Tenerife, who can come to the Canary Islands? Basically anyone, as long as your country permits it. So for example, in the UK at the moment, you're not permitted to travel, only for essential travel. So technically, if you're not traveling for work and things, then you wouldn't be able to come at the moment. But anyone else, if your country's not on lockdown, you can travel, no problem. So next, the second thing, which is the most important question everyone keeps asking, will I need a test to travel to the Canaries? If you're traveling from a risk country, which is according to the coronavirus map, the official one, which is the ECDC map. So if you are a high risk country or traveling from a high risk country, then you will need the PCR test. Okay, which is the one that's slightly more expensive. It's not the antigen, it's the PCR. So if you're traveling to the Canaries from a high-risk country, you'll have to bring the PCR test with you with a negative result, no more than 72 hours old. So 72 hours before, no later, you bring the test result with you. It's got to be the original test result. You can't have copies of it. It's got to be the original, either by email format or printed. It's got to be the official version of that test result with the date on, the time, where you had it done, and obviously the result. If you're traveling from a non-risk country and you're on the list and you're not high risk, then you don't need to travel with the PCR test. You can bring the antigen test. If you're not on the high risk list as well, if you're not a high risk country, you'll only be asked for the test result when you check in to your resort or hotel in Tenerife. So if you are staying in private accommodation, then technically you don't need to bring a test. If you're planning on staying in a hotel or an official tourist location, then you'll need either the PCR or the antigen test, but that only applies if you're not a high risk country. So, as well as the test results, you will need to fill in the Spanish QR code online. I'll leave the link in the description for that. You'll need to fill it all in, tick the box that says you've had a test and the result, and what you're coming to Tenerife for, everything like that, or the Canaries. So that is the next thing on the list, the QR code, and you can fill that in no more than 48 hours before you travel, before you fly here. So I'm going to go through some of the other questions that a lot of people ask. First one here, this is on the list. I've had coronavirus before and I am immune. Do I still need to bring a test? The answer is yes. You will still need to bring that negative test result with you, because they still don't know whether you can catch it again. So you would still need that even if you've had coronavirus before. I'm traveling from another Spanish region. Do I need to have a diagnostic test to be able to stay in tourist accommodation in the Canary Islands? Again, the answer is yes. You must provide a negative test result with no more than 72 hours old. Another question here. I'm a resident in the Canary Islands. Do I need to submit a negative test to stay in tourist accommodation? No, you don't. We don't need a test if you live here, but you will need to provide a declaration. It's a Spanish declaration to say that you haven't left the Canary Islands more than 15 days before. So you have to have been here for at least 15 days to then check into another Canary Islands hotel if you're a resident. So another question, if you're planning on staying in Tenerife for a little while and you're planning on swapping hotels or staying in different accommodation, I'm going to the Canary Islands for a long time. Must I have a test every time I change accommodation? The answer is no. As long as you've had that original one, you don't need to keep testing each time you change accommodation. Will I be able to have a test in the Canary Islands before I leave? So a few people want to have a test before they go home. You can get a test here. Your accommodation will tell you the nearest place to go and get that test. They are very quick and convenient over here at the moment, so you can get that done. So, another popular question, what am I going to find at Tenerife Airport? What's going to happen to me? How are they going to do it? So, when you land, you'll come off the plane, you will need to scan that QR code. You'll need to then obviously show your passport, go through the passport machine, and you will then also pass through a line that will go past a load of heat sensitive cameras that will check your temperature as you come through. Just reading here, you must wear a mask obviously as you go through the airport. Keep sanitizing your hands as well. If they do see, you might look a bit red or a bit hot, they may pull you aside for a separate test and to run through another few checks with you if they do think you look a bit suspect in terms of temperature or you look a bit hot. So just a few of the general measures that you'll experience here in the Canary Islands if and when you do come over. You will have to wear masks everywhere you go apart from eating and drinking. So in the shops, restaurants, bars, you will need to wear a mask. Walking onto the beach, you'd need to wear a mask, but obviously not while you sunbathe or while you swim, you can take the mask off. You must keep distance of 1.5 meters, ideally 2 meters from people. You may not smoke or use tobacco in certain areas, so when you will have to leave the bar and go out to the street side to smoke. They don't want people smoking around. We've got another here. Masks must be worn by adults and children over 6. That also applies for the tests as well. So if your child is 6 and over, then they will need the negative test. If they're under 6, they don't need to bring a test with them. So another popular question, what should I do if I get a few symptoms while I'm here? Where shall I go? What should I do? There is a specific instruction of what to do if you get any symptoms, such as coughing, high temperature, sneezing. Then there's a number you can call. I'll leave the link to that in the description. You can call this number for instructions to be given on what you should do and where your nearest testing and medical centre is. It is important. Keep yourself away from everyone. And go and get a test, go and seek the medical advice that is on offer. Remember, keep washing your hands, sanitizing your hands and everything. The island is here for you to enjoy. People are still enjoying it. They're loving the sunshine, loving the beaches. You can holiday and you can do it safely. You will obviously have to pay for that test before you come. They're around £120 in the UK. I know a lot of people have had them done at Boots who are doing them. But if you're happy with the test, if you can pay for the test, then we're here, we're ready to welcome you. You can have a fantastic time. I'm going to keep going with these updates because we did have a few couples who saw the last update video and decided to book a trip just off watching that video. They felt confident enough, they knew the rules, knew what was going on and decided to come over. So I'll keep up with these update videos. That is it for now. It's the 23rd of November. The new rules are in place, so if you come over now, you will need the PCR test with a negative result. But other than that, the QR code, make sure you fill that in online. That's free, that's quite quick and easy. And then you can enjoy your holiday safely. Wear your mask, stay safe, but you can have fun. It's obviously, I know the test can be a little bit expensive for some people. They are hoping that in future the antigen test will become a bit more reliable and they will switch to the antigen test, which is cheaper and easier for you. But at the moment it is the PCR because it's across the board and it's reliable for the whole of Europe. They know that the results are a lot more accurate with the PCR, which is why that has been used. A few people say, oh, this is only Tenerife, they're trying to ruin the tourism. I don't think so. Personally, I think this will be introduced worldwide. The likes of America and Canada, when they reopen, I imagine if you want to travel there, you will need to do the same. You would need a negative test result until a vaccine is distributed. So it's not just the Canary Islands being funny. I think they've been on the ball. I think they've done it early enough to protect everyone and keep the numbers low, and I do think you'll see it introduced in a lot of countries across Europe as well. Personally, I think it is an expensive test, but you will save that money in different areas. You're going to save it on the flights, you're going to save it on the accommodation, and a lot of the excursions and things here are cheaper at the moment as well. So you will probably save the £120, but I know it can be expensive for some people. So I do know that as well. So that is it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed the views behind me. Fantastic beach here at Del Duque in Adeje. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. I will keep you up to date and do lots of videos and live videos of Tenerife. If you haven't subscribed to the Instagram, it's _KnightStrider. You can get different sneak peeks throughout the day of what I'm up to and bits and bobs of Tenerife. If you want to drop a comment or hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, it's all there for you, and I will leave the links in the description of the article that I've just been through, of all the information. It's all going to be in the description for you. Have a read through, make sure you know everything before you travel, before you book any flights. Thanks very much for watching. I'm going to keep you up to date. Stay positive and stride on.